Okay, did you record? You started?
Does that answer your
That's the
question?
only, that's the only proper introduction to the podcast today, unless you had Dragon Rock the
I
Dragon
don't
on
know.
there.
I do not.
Yeah. Well, today with Casual Opinions, we're celebrating a very special soon-to-come event, and that is the release of the new Dragon Ball Super movie. Ow! Um, Dragon Ball Superhero, which admittedly is kind of a goofy sounding name, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, a little bit. Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Superhero. Yeah.
it's a bit of a mouthful, but and
Is
not
it
as
is
big of
it
a mouth.
is it super or is it just superhero?
Well, Dragon Ball Superhero.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they played it using the super twice. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. It's a weird name, not as weird as Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Like that's always a weird one, but I like that form all the same. And
Yeah, that's a
yeah,
goofy name.
today Caleb and I, longtime fans of Dragon Ball as a series, are going to go through our top 10 favorite Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super movies. The movies and specials, we'll put
Mm-hmm.
that in there as well. Um, because honestly, I was looking at some of the runtime of some of the older ones, and like, they're not, they're like 40-minute
Yeah, I think
movies.
I
Like,
remember. I think the back of the on the back DVD of Super 13, it's like maybe 30 or 40 minutes. Like
yeah,
it's short and it's a movie.
movies, specials, we're lumping them in here together. The Dragon Ball movies kind of have like a weird place. Like I think they've come out and pretty much said like the
They're
movies
not
are like,
canon.
yeah, they're like a separate timeline,
Kind of,
like
yeah. They're just
essentially.
they're there. And they kind
Um,
of explain that away in the Xenoverse games as that sort of. I think
oh
a little bit.
really?
I think
I know
so.
you play those a
They
lot more than
mention
me.
them because like they include like the movie villains and stuff, and they brought over Cooler's or they brought over Frieza's brother from a different timeline. It's like, oh gosh.
Gotcha. Yeah. I know, and history was made for the first time, like, because I think the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie was the first movie that was ever officially like canon. Um,
Well,
although
yeah, I thought Battle of the
Battle of Gods,
Gods.
I guess yeah, but I guess with those they also have the
The
anime
super, yeah, the adaptations.
recreations of them, which aren't as good.
They're not.
Um,
Well, I kind of like the Frieza stuff a little bit.
it
Like
has some good moments,
like I
yeah.
like the inclusion of Ginyu in there. I thought
Yes,
that was
that's
cool.
fine. Yeah. I feel like you just said that just so you could do that again.
I said it and I was like, oh wait, I have a soundbite for that.
Yeah, so the most recent movies, the Dragon Ball Super movies, definitely tie in much closer. There's also another one that's like that is probably also canon. That's the Dead Zone movie
Oh, is that canon?
with Garlic Jr. Well, because they do well, I guess that depends on how you feel about the Garlic Jr.
Saga.
TV arc.
Yeah, that was
Because
always
there's
confusing to me a little bit.
the Dead Zone movie came out first, and
Mm-hmm.
then there was the TV arc, which was sort of a follow up arc. So,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. You're kind of right. I kind of yeah. Hmm.
certainly very interesting. Caleb and I both have tickets to go see the Dragon Ball Superhero when it comes out next
Mhm.
weekend. Um, Initially, if things had gone according to plan, we should have already seen it because it got delayed a couple months because there was like a big old hack at Toei Animation, so they pushed everything back by like 2 months. I think it was supposed to come out originally in June. Um,
Would have been nice. I would have liked that better.
it's going to be very fun, and I've heard. Have you gotten any spoilers on it?
No, I don't think so, actually. Which
Okay,
I'm surprised
I've gotten.
because my friend is a loser and
Yeah.
already watched it online illegally. I was like, you're so lame. It's coming out. Like if it's coming out, like I did that to Battle of Gods because I wasn't sure if it was going to come out in English,
Yeah,
because there was
yeah,
like over a year wait for that one, but I think the other
yeah.
movies have been way faster.
Yes, yeah,
But no, and it's leaked online. I know, because I did
yeah.
see that it was leaked online. I looked it up to see if it was online, but I didn't watch it. So
Mm.
I've kept clear of any spoilers so far, so I'm excited about that.
I've caught a few light ones, and stuff that you could probably assume based off some of the trailers and stuff as well.
I have not
But
seen every
I
trailer that they pumped out. I'll say that.
That's probably good then. Um, I've heard it's I've heard it's very good.
I love the
And I'm
Gohan element of it. I love that.
yes, yeah, I heard they make Gohan cool again.
Like
So
I don't even recall. Was Goku even in the trailer?
he's in it a
Is
little
he?
bit.
Okay,
There's
I
a
couldn't
part
even remember.
in at least in the initial trailer he's in it, and it looks like he's actually training with Broly. Like they're
Oh
sparring
yeah.
together.
How do you, how do you feel? I know it's a little off. How do you feel about Broly? Like not the movie, but like the character and then the inclusion of him still.
I mean, I'm excited for it. It's not that surprising that at the end of the last movie he
Yeah,
ended up being
he is a
mostly
fan
good.
favorite. I like that
Yeah,
movie a lot, but I
I
think
really
I
do
would have
too.
maybe rather him die. I don't know if I want him to be like a good reoccurring character. That's
Yeah,
just
I
not
don't
how
know
I
how
see
much he.
Broly.
Yeah, I don't know how much he'll show up. I'll be curious to see what he's like in this movie here,
And
but
I'm also just curious for the future of the franchise. I don't know where they're
yeah,
going. Well, I don't know if
yeah,
this movie will allude to that or not.
I've been staying up with the manga and stuff, and I wonder if they're gonna
Once
turn
it's
that
done
into
right
the
now, right? It's
series.
currently
I think they're maybe this next chapter is gonna finish up the current arc that they're on.
and it's with that weird like android thing. Is that right?
Um,
Or what
well,
was it again?
right now it's the granola arc
Granola. Yeah,
is what it's
that's who it
called.
was. What is he again? Is he not
Yeah.
an android?
No, he's got like this special eye thing that like helps him snipe, I guess. Maybe he's going to be the fourth mystery character in Fortnite. Um, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do remember the name
Yeah.
Granola. I have not kept up to that. I kept up all the way till with the well, I kept up. I didn't really like watch it, but I was keeping up with it. All
Mhm.
that Tournament of Power stuff. But yeah, I'm not too familiar with Granola.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're probably a lot more familiar than with the rest of the stuff here. There's been a lot of movies, specials, and such. But I
Tons.
figure
Holy cow.
we could start at 10 and just go up to the top there. And I swear to God, if you have Dragon Ball Evolution on here, I'm gonna kill you. Um,
Okay.
you better not. Not even for the memes. That is unacceptable. Um,
Why?
I already know you've got it on there. I just can just feel it, and I'm upset. All right.
Uh,
Let's start with number 10. You want to go first and disappoint me already, or should I go first?
it's up to you.
I don't know if I can handle the disappointment. I'll go first with my number 10.
All right. All right.
Um, my number 10, I picked Super Android 13 that
It's a
you had
good pick. I
mentioned as
love that one.
my number 10. I like all the Red and Army stuff. I mean, anything with time travel I enjoy. So the Red Ribbon Army and the androids obviously tie into that. I think that's one of the reasons I'm excited for Superhero a lot as well, is because there's more Red Ribbon
Red
Army
Ribbon.
stuff
Yeah,
in there.
that is pretty neat. I like that as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
Super 13 was great. I just love the way he looks, and I love how when he turns Super
yeah,
13, he doesn't talk anymore.
right. He's just
Grr.
whoop silent. There's the iconic part where I think it's Goku just gets his balls obliterated, but the nut punch.
The nut punch. Yeah,
Just the
abridged did pretty good there too.
oh, yeah, just
I
the
do also
uppercut.
gauge a lot of these movies and specials by their abridged versions as well because usually if I like
Uh,
the movie, the abridged version was pretty good too.
okay, that's fair.
The Super 13 one is pretty good.
Isn't he like a trucker
Yeah, my trucker
in
hat.
the yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was cool. It's kind of like it was an old villain in the sense that it was like a Red Ribbon Army guy.
Yeah.
Um
Kill Goku.
and yeah, and they're fighting out in the snow, the icy place, which I thought was a cool
I love
environment.
the snow environment, yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was a solid. That's my number 10 is Super Android 13.
And I know it probably is I've heard possibilities of Cell in this new movie, but it's Red Ribbon. I was like, maybe because obviously from the trailers, those two little jabronis are not the main villains. There's no way those guys are the main villains. So like,
Yeah,
maybe Super 13. I don't know.
maybe,
Who knows? Uh,
maybe.
but I guess for me, my 10, I've got kind of two. The one that it will probably count. I'm sure you'll count it, but if it doesn't, I have a backup. Because it's I don't know if it's considered a special. I think it's maybe an OVA, an original video or whatever that stands
Okay.
for. But it's the
Yeah.
plan to eradicate the Saiyans. Are you familiar?
Hachiak.
Hachiyak or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd say that's probably.
That is cool.
Yeah, that would work.
I don't believe there's an English dub of it. I think it's just subbed. But they like
Yeah, I think
kind
you're
of
right.
remastered it and put it on Raging Blast 2, that video game from
Mm.
like on the PS3, and you could watch it there. And they like did like modern animation, and it's really cool because it's like a Tuffle based enemy and stuff. Like the Tuffles.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
like it's like a Tuffle that built like this machine that can like generate this gas, this hate gas or whatever, that like forms into like
Uh,
the other villains. So like you've got like several movie villains and Frieza in there, and they like can't be
oh,
killed.
nice.
They just like keep reforming. It was cool. Yeah, and then you got Hachiyak in there. It was a
Yeah.
fun little short. It's like, I think originally the run was 60 minutes, but like it was remastered and it was like shortened to like 30 minutes. So it's pretty short. Yeah, but it was
That's
it was
just a
cool
long
though.
episode.
Yeah, basically just like an episode's worth.
Yeah. Yeah, I Hachiak's a weird pink eye. I forgot that they put that on Raging Blast.
Hmm.
That's
I think that's like the
cool.
only game you can even play as him, besides like maybe like, I guess, Dokkan Battle. You probably get a Hachiyak card.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
I guess
the Hachiak.
Heroes, I'm sure that Heroes arcade game has built upon that. Actually, I
Oh
know they
yeah.
have, because I was
Yeah.
I was reading into the
Heroes is
Tuffles Wikipedia and they was talking about that. I was like, oh my gosh, Heroes is everywhere.
Heroes is it's wild, man.
Yeah,
Like
I try not to look at it too much because it almost gives me a headache. It's so much, it's just so wild. It's cool to look at,
yeah.
definitely, but you've got like
It's
Gogeta fighting Vegito. It's like, what the hell?
uh, yeah, and I can like look at my Dokkan like because they have some heroes cards on there, and there's like Super Saiyan 4 Gohan
Yeah,
and Super Saiyan God Trunks
yeah,
Xeno, like
right. Yeah, I'm
long
like, what is
hair.
going on?
Yeah, they just tripping balls with
Yeah,
that stuff.
they're
But
having fun with that.
yeah, go for it. Shit, why not?
my
Um,
my backup though, if you weren't gonna let me do that, was Bio Broly.
oh no, not
I
Bio
watched that
Broly.
with I watched that with Drew not too long ago, like the other day.
Oh
It's
gosh,
it's bad, but it's kind of fun.
Bio Broly's a bit of a toughie.
He looks
Um,
ugly for sure.
yeah. My number 9 is actually ties in a little bit with Dokkan because it's supposedly the next Dokkan event, the next Dokkan cards and stuff are going to be centered around it. But that's Cooler's Revenge, the first
Ooh,
Cooler movie
that is
at
also a
number
great
9.
abridged one.
Yeah, cool. This one's like, I don't know, Cooler. I mean, that extra form that he has is, I mean, he looks
Oh yeah, the fifth
scary.
form or
Like,
sixth form.
yeah, yeah, he
Yeah, that
looks
is
just
insane.
like a monster there.
He is
And I
so bad.
also he has some just of the nastiest beat downs on people in there
Oh yeah.
too.
Oh, he's
I was
huge. He's
watching some
absolutely massive.
he's crazy big. I was watching some clips of it actually this morning, even just watching Cooler just body
Beat
Goku
down
there.
Goku. Yeah,
But
it's insane.
I think what I love most with Cooler is like he shows up on Earth and he's basically just like, yeah, I don't give a shit that my brother's dead. It's just embarrassing that he lost to you, and I need like I don't care that he's dead, but it makes me look bad, and it makes our family look bad. Like I hated the guy, so but I still need to kill you just because it's embarrassing.
It's a
And like
principle.
that's his yeah, that's his whole objective. And then it ends with Goku basically does he like become Jesus in this? I think he gets mad because there's like a hurt bird or something.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and he like heals the bird.
yeah. He like gives
And,
the bird some of his energy or something to like
yeah,
heal the
and
bird, and then he hulks out with a Kameha, right?
he
Yeah,
shoots
he
Cooler into the sun.
yeah. Well, Cooler throws a supernova and he shoots a Kamehameha and then throws him into the sun with that. Yeah, that was brutal.
I mean, that's a hell of a finish.
You seriously,
so...
you should watch Super 13 and Cooler, both those abridged.
On the abridged.
You should. They're so good.
Yeah.
They hold up. They do.
Yeah, I will have to do that. So that's my 9, Cooler's Revenge. That's just a banger. Cooler's awesome.
That is a badass one for sure.
Yeah.
My number 9, also it's not an OVA. Well, it might be an OVA special. It's in that realm. It is Episode of Bardock, if you are familiar. Not the first one.
I thought you'd...
The second one.
Oh, is that the one where he goes Super Saiyan?
Yeah, where he goes back in time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the first one is just like something Bardock special, but this one's called, I think, Episode of Bardock.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's the one where he
goes back in time, and they don't even explain how the heck he goes back in time. He gets hit by Frieza's supernova and just somehow goes back in time. It's a little weird. But yeah, he goes back in time to the Tuffle planet before the Saiyans took it over, and he fights the space pirate Chilled, who is Frieza's ancestor.
Yes.
And it's probably not canon. I'm pretty sure it's not canon, but it set up a really cool way, in my opinion, for Frieza and Frieza's family to be afraid of the Saiyans.
Afraid, yeah.
And it kind of maybe gave Bardock, he was maybe the first Saiyan, Yeah. And so, who knows how long Saiyans live? So, if it was canon, they could bring Bardock back into the mix. Mm-hmm. That would be cool. So, yeah, it was very, very fun. I remember also possibly this maybe doesn't have an official English dub, because I remember it got released in like 2011 and I watched a fan dub and it was actually really good. Like full on fan dub, not the official like Toei animation. I was like, this is pretty impressive for fans, but I'm not sure if it ever got an official dub or not.
That's cool. Yeah, and then of course, like the Cooler, the Frieza family has got just the best names: Chilled, Frieza, King Cold, Cooler. It's like,
right. And then I think Frieza's got like doesn't Frieza have like a weird spin-off son in one adaptation called Kuriza?
Oh, you might be right.
And he's got like a pointed head almost. He's like maybe red instead of purple. Kuriza. That's the only one that's a little weird.
Let's see. Kuriza, the son of Frieza. He appears in Neko Majin.
Neko Majin, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nice pull.
Yeah, I remembered that.
Oh, brilliant. True. Dragon Ball, not known for top tier naming.
What?
But at least it's it's about as good as good old Ethan there in Star Wars Visions.
My name is Ethan.
My name's Ethan. Yeah, that's a good choice too. I didn't think of that. I was trying to guess like what you would have on your list, and I didn't even think about those two. So
nice.
My number 8. I've changed things around on this list. I think I originally had this one higher, but I moved it down a little bit. That's Resurrection F.
Oh,
put Resurrection F in at 8. It's so good. Like all 3 of the Super movies are really good.
Technically, I think those first 2 are Z.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think
Broly's the first Super.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But yeah, Frieza. I mean, he's the original big time baddie, I guess. Yeah, I mean, he's the first like true big bad. I mean, I guess you could count Vegeta as a bad, but whatever. Frieza back. He gets the gold form. Also, kind of like how Cooler's just like, you embarrassed me by beating my brother. Frieza's they're just weird because Frieza's like, I've literally never trained a day in my entire life.
Yeah, that's something that I thought was really a cool detail. This just shows how strong he is.
And he spends like a couple months training.
I think it was 6 months.
And then he comes to Earth and he's like fighting gods. So it's just
fighting gods. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yeah, and I like the gold form. I don't know how everybody else in the world feels about it.
When I first saw it, I was disappointed, but I've grown to like it a lot.
He kind of does it as like oh yeah, you beat me with yellow hair, now I'm gonna beat you with.
Yeah, that was a cool factoid. Well, is apparently he kind of, if I read right, he got to pick what it was. I don't know how that works, but apparently Frieza somehow picked gold specifically because of that, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, and then you get to the part I think the ending is also really cool, where Vegeta's like standing over him and he's just like, you a bitch, and then Frieza's like, and just blows up the planet.
And then Whis has to go back in time, right?
Yeah, and then I love how pissed off Vegeta gets because like Vegeta's standing over him again, and he's like, ho, 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 and then Goku's just like, yeet.
Yeah, I forgot. He's like, why did you do that?
You stole my kill, you bastard.
Yeah, that was funny. I gotta say, I remember when that first got announced, like I was so excited for that. I got chills because like they released the trailer for it, and it was just in Japanese, but like it was such a chilling trailer. Like it's like Frieza in his first form and like the healing tube or whatever, and they're like just doing this cool shot of just his tail and then his hands, and I'm like, oh my god, they're really bringing Frieza back. not just a lame in hell cameo. They're actually bringing him back.
Yeah, that's cool. Did you see the new stuff for Dragon Ball Breakers?
I don't think I'm gonna get that. It didn't look that fun.
It doesn't look very good. It looks a little whack.
It looks like it's also gonna be clunky.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I'm not super high on that one, but yeah, Resurrection F at 8.
Nice. All right, my number 8 is The Path to Power.
Good choice.
Yeah, it's a really good one, which I think it was the last Dragon Ball Z movie to come out before Battle of Gods, I think.
That sounds right.
I always forget that it came after Wrath of the Dragon. I always think Wrath of the Dragon is the last one, but Path to Power, or The Path to Power, is technically the last one, I think, before Battle of Gods. But it was awesome. I remember I didn't know that even existed for the longest time until, this is probably a little nerdy or cringy, but I came across a Dragon Ball Z animated music video to some Linkin Park song, and it had clips of that movie in there, and I was like, this looks like Dragon Ball, but it looks really good, like crisp, modern animation for that time. And then I found Path to Power, which is, of course, like a sort of remake of the Red Ribbon Army arc in Dragon Ball. So it's like the first Dragon Ball, which is really cool and nice, slightly more modern animation, and it's just a good-ass movie.
And there's that part, and I bet the part that you saw in that animated music video is the part where Android 8 like dies.
Yes.
And Goku like
rages out.
He's in the rain or whatever, and it's just like it's one of the coolest
Kamehamehas. It looks so good. He blows through. Is that General Red, right?
Yeah, you just get chills just thinking about it.
Yeah, that's literally, I got chills watching it. I was like, dang, this is good. And I found it. Exactly what happened.
Yeah. That is a super good movie. Good choice. My number 7 is Fusion Reborn, the Janemba movie.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Really, probably the main reason is
Gogeta.
Gogeta Simpin. I like Gogeta more than Vegito personally.
Same.
I think it's the best. I think it's just
it looks cool.
Looks cooler. Yeah. But I think this is the first time that you get to see Gogeta, and the fight that he has with Janemba at the end is just wild. Like, and what's so extra wild about it is he just like walks, like he just like he turns into Gogeta and just thumps him. Like,
with
it's
that
not
rainbow
even close.
flash, right?
Yeah, the rainbow sparkle bomb or whatever he throws. It's so good. It's so fun to watch.
Yeah, I love Janemba. I thought his design is terrifyingly cool.
Yeah, when he transforms, that is.
Right. Yeah, not the big yellow one.
Yeah. And then also Pycon's in there. Pycon's.
Oh yeah, Pycon's so cool. I forgot he was in there. Yeah, he's badass.
I wish they would bring that. Make
him canon.
Yeah. Well, there's like an arc, but it might be a fill.
I think it's a filler arc. Yeah.
So I don't know how. And then he maybe is in Boo Saga when like Boo goes to heaven.
Yeah, he might be.
Boo goes to the so. But I think a lot of people were hoping that Pycon would be in the Universal.
That was a missed opportunity. Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, that was. Oh, they should have done that.
Should have done Pycon instead. Yeah.
Yeah. Was Krillin in there? They should have dropped Krillin for Pycon.
Yeah, Krillin, Tien, Roshi was in there.
Roshi and Tien did pretty good though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Roshi did a hell of a lot better than Tien. But yeah.
Dang.
There's a part where Roshi even like freaking dodges Jiren. Like Jiren goes to punch Roshi, and Roshi's like, whoop.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Janemba is cool because isn't he like, he's just some random demon janitor or something, and he like messes with some machine, and then he turns into this insanely powerful monster. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know. I thought it was really cool. I'd love for him to get a canonization.
yeah, that would be sweet. So Fusion Reborn for me, 7.
Mine is Battle of Gods.
Good choice.
For my number 7. Yeah, it's a great movie. It was the long awaited, I guess not a super movie, but the long awaited movie that I probably never thought was going to happen, and I did watch it. I think I watched it twice online in sub before it came out in English, and then I watched it obviously in theaters. It's a great movie. It's maybe say the least of the 3. Would you say? In my opinion, like it's probably my least favorite of those 3 that have come out.
Oh well,
not that it's bad, but just I'd probably put it at the bottom of those 3.
I've got it higher up.
You do?
But,
Okay.
Then F at least.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You said F. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I like F a little bit more. But Battle of Gods is awesome. It introduced Super Saiyan God, which is, I feel like as quickly as they introduced it, they kind of made it irrelevant.
Yeah, but it's so sexy looking.
It is really cool. I like the red look. It gives off a Kaioken vibe, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And Beerus is cool. I like it how he was a villain, also quickly turned good guy kind of. I like that I like how they kept Beerus around. I thought that was an interesting take. So yeah, Battle of Gods is good.
My number 6, and I've got Battle of Gods higher up on the list as well. My number 6 is The Path to Power. Also,
nice.
So we kind of already talked a little bit about that, but like you said, it's like the first couple arcs, or it's the Red Ribbon arc of the original Dragon Ball, and it is it just looks
movie.
so good.
It's like Dragon Ball movie quality, and all of the movies slap. They're so crisp and clean.
Yeah, it just looks so good, and that Kamehameha that we talked about is just like
legendary.
Yeah, so good. So I won't spend too much time on that because we did already kind of talk about it a little bit. But Path to Power is my number 6. That was your 7, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Smart choice. It was either your 7 or your 8.
It was 8. Yeah, it was 8. Battle of Gods was 7. My 6, because that's what we're on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. My 6 is Wrath of the Dragon. It's awesome.
With Hirudegarn?
Yeah, Hirudegarn and Tapion. Yeah, that one was really cool. I remember getting to see that at Grandma's. I caught probably not all of it, but I remember it was on. And I remember I thought it was so weird because I think you were there, like you and like Bailey and everybody. You all were playing outside, and when we were at Grandma's, because we didn't have access to Dragon Ball Z, growing up too much, like we didn't have the channel, and so like that movie was playing, and I hadn't seen it. I was like, "Hello, guys, Dragon Ball Z," but you guys were all wanting to play outside, which I thought was so weird. So I remember sitting inside and watching.
Outside.
Huh?
I said I hate being outside. That is weird.
That is weird, yeah. So I remember watching that there, kind of by myself, and it was a badass movie. Yeah, Tapion is really cool. It's a questionable origin, I think, timeline-wise for Trunks' sword, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like that doesn't quite add up, but obviously I don't think the movie's canon, but it was a cool way to do it nonetheless, even if it didn't make too much sense. But the villain is not the best villain. It's just a big monster. I'm not usually a big fan, but I think Tapion and the Trunks relationship was honestly the coolest thing about it. And then of course the dragon fist punch, which was really badass.
That is really cool. Yeah, and a lot of times with Dragon Ball movies it's like with Fusion Reborn, it's basically just like fight.
Yeah.
But this one
that's what Dragon Ball Z is, but yeah.
That's true. But this that one that you're just talking about has, I don't know, it's got a lot more like
depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like they always try and give depth to Trunks for some reason, because you got History of Trunks where they really give out some moments for Trunks there.
Bunch of Trunk simps.
I was a Trunk simp. I am.
I know you are.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite hero.
Yeah, I'm a big Vegeta guy. And it's kind of hard being a Vegeta fan because he always seems to be second fiddle, or he gets, it's like Vegeta goes, he does pretty good, he gets his ass beat, and then Goku goes and cleans it up.
Beats him up, yeah.
Yeah. Damn it. Vegeta fans just can't get what they want.
Yeah,
that was your 6.
Yes.
And then my 5 is Battle of Gods. So not too far away on a couple of these here. I agree with pretty much everything that you said. I like Beerus a lot. I like the idea of, gods. I also like the idea that this pretty much deleted GT from everyone's memories. Um, and it officially kind of said, sorry, GT, you're not a thing anymore.
I gotta say, I
Um,
gotta give some love to GT. It's bad, but it's got some good moments though.
there are some moments in there.
But I am glad
I
it's
tend
not
to be a little
canon.
hard on it. Yeah. The Beerus, Whis, the gods, the angels, like it just
It
ratcheted
introduced a
everything
lot.
up.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
upped the ante for Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. And it was like the first after a really long time. Like it had been a
Yeah,
long time
years.
since really any Dragon Ball thing had been out, at least in big numbers.
Well,
And
there was Yo Son Goku and friends.
yeah, where they fight Abo and Kato or
Yeah,
whatever.
and it's got Tarble in it.
Yeah. Yo, Son Goku and friends. Uh, Now that came out just that was, I guess, maybe came out a handful of years
Before,
before.
I think, yeah.
But yeah, that's fine. Um, yeah, no, red hair forms. It's so clean. It's super cool.
Hmm.
Um, it does kind of introduce the concept of like the first Super Saiyan God, and then they just like really don't talk about that much anymore now.
Yeah,
Like
it's
there was
sad.
Yamoshi, the first Super Saiyan God or whatever, and but all the same, it kicks a good bit of ass here.
Yeah.
Um, so that is my number 5.
Yeah, I do also like how Beerus is just a sleepy cat. He's just an
Yeah,
angry sleepy cat.
yep. I mean that's pretty on brand. So
Yeah, that
the
was funny.
cats, yeah, that is fun.
My next is Fusion Reborn. Da-da-da-da.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm a big Janemba guy. I absolutely love his final Super Janemba, I think is what it's referred to. He
Yeah.
looks creepy. He looks cool. I love his like I guess dimensional powers, like the way he like teleports. It's like all blocky and
Yes.
colory.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
super cool. Like I think that's really cool. And he's a simple villain, like I said, how he basically was just a random demon that got transformed by
Yeah.
bad souls or something like that. I'm not
Uh,
super sure. So he was an easy villain, and I wouldn't be against. He doesn't necessarily need to get a movie, but if they wanted to like continue the series and give him a more series based thing, I think that would be kind of cool because like we're really into like the god stuff right now. I mean, I don't know
mhm.
how much granola is right now, but like if we maybe drew it back a little bit while still keeping the threat powerful with Janempa, I don't know. I think it could
Yeah.
be a cool direction for them. But yeah, Fusion Reborn, PyCon needs to be canon too. Such a great movie. So yeah,
It
that is
really
my
is.
pick there.
Excellent choice. I'm very curious to see what your top 4 ends up looking like because we're moving into top 4 territory, and there's there's a couple that I know you have not mentioned yet, but then like that I think like you have kind of mentioned about them being maybe up on your list. Then there's still a couple that I'm just like, wait, how's like there's basically I have like 6 things that I think you're gonna have in your top 4, and it just doesn't work because so I'm very curious to see what your top 4 ends up being.
Oh.
My number 4 is Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan.
Hmm,
The first Broly movie.
absolutely.
Um,
It's the goat
I, this,
Broly.
I, yeah, I mean, Broly just
Tear shit up.
he's just a terrifying monster. And I mentioned that Cooler has some epic beatdowns in his movie. Broly makes him look like a bitch. Like,
Doesn't he make Vegeta cry in that movie?
and this is why it's hard for me as a Vegeta fan because he literally makes Vegeta sit down and
The bitch boy.
cry. Yeah. And then there's a part like Vegeta sits down and cries, and then like somebody is like, Vegeta, buck the fuck up. And then he like goes and tries to fight Broly again and just immediately just
Just
gets
gets
stomped
bodied.
again.
Yeah,
And
who
I'm just
tries to
like,
pep
oh
talk him? I'm
no.
curious who pep talks him going back over there.
I don't remember.
Because I think was it Trunks? I was gonna say Trunks
Maybe it
maybe.
was Trunks. Yeah, maybe Trunks is like, Dad, you're embarrassing me.
Right. Also, I
But
love how. Oh, go ahead.
there's a part where Goku shoots a Kamehameha right in Broly's face, and he just like walks through it.
Walks through it, yeah.
And he's just like, nope, that ain't gonna work. And I don't know. I guess my only drawback with this Broly is his origin story is a little.
Oh
A little.
yeah, and they didn't really
eh,
change that in the new one, did they?
No, they did. Like his, it was more like they had beef with Vegeta, like King Vegeta and his family.
Yeah, I thought that was more Paragus though, and
Yeah,
like,
but I
but
think
he obviously
Paragus.
manipulated to a degree.
Yeah,
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 but yeah, but he still has the Kakarot, like rage thing though going
yeah.
on. Yeah,
I think so, and he's all pissy at Vegeta and stuff too.
yeah,
But yeah, it's a little corny, but it's still. I mean, Broly is just this
is
behemoth
yeah, he
monster.
is awesome.
So
He is awesome. He's terrifyingly
that is my
awesome.
number. That is my number 4, the first Broly movie.
Well, that's awfully convenient because it's also my number 4.
Wow.
Yeah, Broly, the first Broly movie. Uh, you said enough. I mean, it was fantastic. I was gonna say another abridged moment. I loved how in the abridged how Broly's base form, he was basically Michael Cera. He was just like so shy and awkward, and
Yeah.
he kept thinking Trunks was a woman. He's like, your hair smells like lavender. Thinking Princess Trunks or whatever.
Yeah, and Vegeta's in there just like, "Ah."
Oh my gosh, yeah. So, but the first Broly movie is the best of the three. I had kind of joked. I mean, I was somewhat serious about having Bio Broly as an alternate down there. I
God damn it.
kind of think I like Bio Broly a little bit more than the second Broly movie.
Oh no.
The second Broly movie was just okay. It was just okay. It's not as good as the first. And Bio Broly, I like both of them because they give focus to Goten and Trunks, which is cool.
Yes.
So I like that atmosphere. But yeah, Bio Broly looks terrible. I will agree.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of like that he's like his own little thing. It's whatever. And it
I
kind
guess
of they kind of fit it into the TV show. Drew actually pointed that out to me. How like it starts off with Android 17 wanting or 18 wanting her money from
18.
Hercule from the tournament and all that. So it's like okay,
That's
they
true.
kind of
Yeah.
tie it in a little bit.
Yeah. I guess thinking of Broly versus second Broly versus Bio Broly. I guess one thing that kind of baffles me with the second Broly is there's a part in there where like Fidel somehow manages to not get killed.
Oh yeah, somehow she's
Like,
keeping
cause
up
she's
with
in at
them.
the beginning. She like dodges him, and then she gets like clotheslined by him, and it's just like, I'm okay.
I'm
It's like,
okay. I'm just a
no,
normal woman. Yeah.
no.
No, I don't.
Sorry, Fidel.
And I also my sort of complaint is he doesn't ever go legendary Super Saiyan in that movie.
Yeah,
He doesn't
yeah, he
Hulk up
stays in that.
entirely, which is a little disappointing. But I mean, it's a nice change of pace. That's why I don't hate it, but that's the reason why I just don't quite like it as much as the others.
At least it's not Broly fused with a muck. So that's a plus, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, that is an ugly looking thing.
Okay. I'm curious to see if we'll keep matching up here. This one, I feel like this is one of the ones where I'm like, if Caleb doesn't have this on his list, I'm gonna be
Oof.
super surprised.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned. My number 3 is Dragon Ball Z: The History of Trunks. History of Trunks.
History of T-Runks.
Oh man, you're really concerning me now because I feel like you. The History of Trunks is just too good, man.
Very emotional. I love it.
You're a Trunks fan.
I am
a super Trunks fan. I just love this. It does tie into the show, right? Because this is the alternate timeline Trunks. There, it's like it's kind of like well, yeah, like you said, there's a lot of emotions in there because it's like everybody is dead except us two and Bulma, and it's just kind of bleak, and there's not a lot of hope in it. And I, for one, think Gohan losing his arm, the one-armed Gohan, it's the coolest freaking thing.
It is.
Like,
it really
and
is.
then he goes out there and he fights him with one arm, and unfortunately, Gohan gets killed. And then what I love most about this, and this I kind of love in shows, you know, and it happens in Dragon Ball from time to time, but like Trunks gets his like you would think in Dragon Ball Trunks would get his Super Saiyan form, and he would go in there and just sauce the androids, right? But Trunks gets his Super Saiyan form, and he goes to get revenge, and he gets his shit kicked.
Yeah, he does.
Like he goes Super Saiyan, and they just
dude, why do they keep him alive? Do they just like pity him, or
I can't remember if he escaped.
Yeah, I couldn't remember either.
Or if they're just like LOL, because there's a point in that movie where 17's like, or maybe one of them's like, oh, we don't want to kill everybody, we still want to have some fun, like when everybody's dead we're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah,
so I can't remember if he ran away or if he was
let go,
if they let him go. Yeah. But then he eats off to the past after getting obliterated. So
I got
history of Trunks.
Yeah, I gotta say, that is a fantastic special, I guess. I don't know if it's what's quite labeled.
I think it's a special.
Yeah. I gotta say though, what really, I think I actually did tear up a little bit. 'Cause I don't know if you played it, but in Xenoverse 2, there's a moment where you're doing that saga. Something's going on, so you have to correct the timeline, and it's really sad because like one of the main characters in Xenoverse 2 is Trunks. You know, he's like the time controller, and there's one moment where he starts to freak out and he like breaks protocol and he runs into the timeline to try and save Gohan because he knows Gohan's getting ready to go fight and die, and like there's like this really emotional cutscene where he obviously Gohan doesn't really know this Trunks, but he's like, oh, Trunks, what are you doing here? And he's like, Gohan, don't go. And like there's just this moment of realization that Gohan knows that he's gonna die. He knows he's going there to die. That's why Trunks is there, and he's like, look, it's okay, I have to do this. And I think I actually teared up a little. I was like, oh my god, like, that's so emotional. And one arm Gohan just flies in there to just die. Ugh. It was so sad. I was like, damn, even now that he knows, he's still willing to do it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So crazy. So I love that moment in Xenoverse 2, making that moment shine even brighter.
Yeah, super good. So that was my 3 history of Trunks.
Yeah,
number 3.
My number 3 is something you had a little bit lower. It's Super 13. I'm a big Super 13 fan. I love SS Deadly Bomber because that move is the GOAT. Dude, seriously, and Budokai Tenkaichi 3, you cannot dodge that move. It's like impossible. It's like tracking. He's insanely OP. Of course, I hype up the abridged is very good as well. I would love for him to be canon in some way. I've got small hopes that will happen in this movie, but I don't think it will. But yeah, no, Super 13. I love his design. The red, almost Vegeta Super Saiyan hair. It's terrifying. Yeah. It is admittedly very short, but I also like I think 14 and 15 are the other androids in there. The pale,
the purple
Native American looking guy, and then the purple guy who's an alcoholic or something. He's always drinking from the bottle.
He's got a little flask.
Yeah, he's a flask. So I'm always down to see more androids because there's so many we haven't seen, you know, like because they're all numbered and stuff. So like just seeing more androids, you know, I'm down for it. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. And of course, we'll have to mention the nut punch again. So
yeah, I think in the abridged version they punch him in the dick and it like flashes to the future and Gohan's training Goten and then Goten just starts to fade away. He's like, Gohan? And then he's like Goten, he's like, what am I doing here?
Oh, jeez.
That was funny.
That is funny. I think Goku, doesn't he like squeak like a duck or something after they punch him?
Yeah.
Good shit. All right. Into the top 2 here. My number 2 is another special, and I'm gonna go with the original Bardock one. Bardock, the father of Goku.
Yeah.
Which is the original origin story of Bardock, but
Mm-hmm.
not actually the canon story of Bardock
I guess it's not anymore.
Because there's Dragon Ball Minus, and then there's like the new stuff in Super.
Right.
Bardock is actually a pretty important in the Granola arc as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you learn a lot about Bardock in the Granola arc.
That's interesting.
Which is interesting. Yeah, he has got a good bit of time in there. So this is definitely not canon anymore, but I think it's still just
It's so good.
so cool. Maybe it's because Bardock just looks like a more badass Goku
Yeah, he's got the
because he's
bandana and
got
the cut.
the cut, and the bandana is like soaked in the blood of his dead friends.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember
Oh,
that part
I
where like
do. Yeah.
fades red,
Mm-hmm.
and then he goes and just claps Dodoria or something. And
Yeah.
then of course, Bardock is cursed or blessed with seeing the
Psychic.
future.
Yeah.
He sees that Frieza is going to destroy Planet Vegeta, and
And he
no one
sees.
believes.
Doesn't he see Goku too?
I think he did. Maybe he sees that
I think.
before.
I think he sees that when he
dies.
dies. Yeah, like as he's
Yeah.
dying, he sees Goku and Frieza, and he's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah, and he goes off, and he's like, "I'm gonna fight this entire army all by myself."
Mm-hmm.
And he flies out there, and you maybe can sense a theme in what I like in Dragon Ball and anime in general. I love it when somebody is like going up against the odds, or they think they're gonna win, and then the bad guy or whoever they're fighting just like
Washes him.
punks them so hard. Like, because Bardock comes in there and he shoots with all of his might, just blasts his whatever it's called in Budokai, his spirit breaker or
Spirit
whatever.
final breaker or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, he boom, after epically fighting all of these guys, and Frieza just like does like this little pea-sized little key, and then it just goes.
Yeah, it turns into I think that's a supernova from like Cooler and stuff. I think
Yeah.
that's what that is.
And
It just like
Bardock's
absorbs
just
his
like-
thing.
Oh Christ! And it just.
Yep. And then he gets sent back in time somehow. Somehow that sends him back in time. And I also just love how like Frieza just also kills all of his men basically doing that too. Because he's got like a bunch of soldiers behind Bardock too, and he's like, yeah, fuck it.
Guys.
So I'll get more men.
Yeah, he can always find more. So that's my number 2. I really like both of those, the Trunks and the Bardock specials there.
Very good. I don't know what happened to it, but I had a cool double pack of those on DVD, and it came in a metal case. Do you remember that?
Oh, nice. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I got it from Vintage Stock a long time ago. It was a metal tin case, and it had the history of Trunks and the Bardock, father of Goku or whatever. And I lost it. I lost it, and I don't know where it went. It was so cool. I missed that. My number 2 is Resurrection F. I love that movie. I absolutely love that movie. I told you how I got chills when I watched that trailer, and like Frieza's just like breaking out of that Bacta tank thing, and it did not disappoint. It really did not disappoint. It was such a great movie. I was a little meh on Golden when I saw it, but I've come to love it. I think I was disappointed at first because I was like, okay, Frieza's gonna look like Cooler, that's what I was thinking or hoping. Yeah. And then they went with Gold, which of course I do love. I love the movie. I love the whole thing. Like I think my favorite part is what you said with Vegeta getting his kill stolen in there. That's funny. I do say though, I think I like it almost a little bit more. This is kind of cheap, but I like what they did with it in Super, how they expanded it a little bit more. I thought that was a nice treatment. I love the inclusion of the Ginyu Force, of course, or Captain Ginyu. Taken, I think is it Tagoma's body? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Frieza soldier. Yeah, I think he like body switches with Tagoma or something like that. And of course, I think Gotenks does a little stuff in there too. So
you get more from the Z fighters.
Yeah, you get a little bit more from the Z fighters, and I liked it. But of course, the movie obviously just looks better because I know some of the Super animation is shoddy at some points. I've seen,
especially around there.
So I guess they cut corners or something. I don't know, but
there's also like an interesting like little mini Krillin arc in the anime version where basically Krillin has like Frieza based PTSD, like because Frieza like blew him up on Namek, and he like sees Frieza and he's just basically like, I don't want to fight. This is.
I also think a little fact that I don't think of, it's not that big, but I think this is Bulma's first time seeing Frieza, even though she was on Namek. I think she mentions how I've never actually seen Frieza before.
Yeah, I think you're right. It does sound. That does sound right.
Resurrection of F was awesome. It was great. And I also loved how the movie started out and he was in hell and he was like wrapped up in that cocoon and he was still Mecha Frieza.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought that
He's
was
like
funny.
surrounded by like teddy bears.
Yeah, they're
and
like singing or
all that
whatever.
stuff. Yeah.
Oh, what a great
Yeah,
hell.
that's pretty great. There's probably worse ones out there, I suspect. I don't know. Maybe not for him. Obviously
not for him,
but well, my number 10, or I guess my number 1, my last one, my 10th one that I'm saying. And maybe it's a recency bias, but I have in my number 1, I've got Dragon Ball Super Broly at number 1. It's just a lot like what we had said with Resurrection F. It looks so good. I
love that art style, that new art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people
I even just
didn't like it, or that was some controversy. At least people didn't like it. I thought it was good though.
I mean, it's a little different. I think it looks really good. I even just really freaking loved when they announced the movie, just the trailer. Of
they're in like those jackets.
Them in the jackets, and Goku's just like bouncing around. Like, I don't know, everything in this looks cool. Also, as previously noted, Gogeta simp. Mm-hmm. So we get God, like Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta. There's just some killer animation. It's also, I think, the better Broly background story, even if this is not quite as scary of a Broly. Frieza has some good moments in here too. Like, he's pissed off because Broly doesn't know how to go Super Saiyan, so he just like fucking shoots his dad, and then he's like, "They did it," and Broly's like, "Oh!"
Yeah, I do remember that was good.
And there's another part where Goku and Vegeta are like, "Okay, we can't beat this Rage Broly. We need to go fuse." So what they do is they run towards Frieza, and then they just like teleport out of the way so they can go fuse. And then Broly just starts kicking the shit out of Frieza.
Yeah, Frieza's like, "Oh shit." Yeah, he was too rage bound. He didn't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, and so it's good. I think it's cool that Broly is now canon, even if it is a different Broly, a more sensitive, less terrifying Broly, but still very, 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 very powerful all Definitely. The same. So yeah, that's my number 1. What do you got?
Yeah, I need to watch it again because I still have only seen it once. It kills me. But I'm
pretty sure I have it.
I have all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But I still haven't watched it. I'm dumb, I guess. But my number 1 is the best Dragon Ball Z movie, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Shut up.
I know. I'm kidding. It's not Evolution. I had to do the memes. No, it's Cooler's Revenge, the first Cooler movie. I think Cooler, at least growing up, it's probably changed. It's filtered a lot, but Cooler is probably my favorite villain. He's cool. He's cooler than Coolio. Fly at the studio, you know.
He's cooler than Frieza.
Yeah, he's cooler than Coolio, bro. It's literally in his name. That's why he's the best. And yeah, his Darth Vader-esque form is just
the mask when the mask goes up.
That just completes the look, and the red eyes. Oh, he's terrifying. He's absolutely terrifying. I've said this probably for like every movie villain we've said, but I would love for him to be canonized somehow. I think he would maybe be the hardest one because we've had so much Frieza development. I feel like it would be hard to throw in a brother all of a sudden. So Cooler, unfortunately, might not ever be canon, but he is still badass. And he actually has in Heroes a golden form where his like Vader form goes golden. It's cool. It's a little much, but it's cool. You got his knockoff Ginyu Force, the Salza squad or whatever. Salza.
Salza.
Salza, Dory, and something else.
What's and this is in the
abridged.
No, maybe I'm getting my abridged mixed up, but maybe it's the Dead Zone abridged where Piccolo's like, you got the.
They do that,
like making fun of him.
They do that twice. They do it in the one you're talking about and the Cooler one.
Okay, there's like the good-looking one, the one with the weird powers or whatever.
Yeah.
and then he like shoots at the guy, and his head just like shrinks.
I think
or
it's
whatever.
the pretty one, the ugly one, and the one with weird, or the pretty one, the stupid one, and the one with weird powers. He's like, oh, I appreciate that, but I'll say I'm more handsome than pretty. My powers are not that weird. He's like, okay, I take that back. You're all stupid.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Obviously, I definitely hold the abridged there as well. It's so good. It's probably my favorite abridged movie as well, and my favorite regular Dragon Ball Z movie. Watched it. That's probably the one I've watched the most. I don't have it on DVD, but I do have it on VHS now. So that's cool. The second Cooler movie, the Meta Cooler, it's not quite as good. Not quite as good. Meta Cooler is just okay.
I agree. I think it's cool up until, and you kind of said this with Arudagarn. I think it's cool until it's like the weird
The Big Daddy Star
monster cooler. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's like,
when
it's like the head,
like kaiju cooler.
Yeah, he like I think the only thing that's left of him is like his head and brain, and he like becomes like this weird tech tentacle monster. Is kind of dumb.
Yeah, it is a little.
But yeah, Cooler's Revenge. I always get the titles mixed up because Cooler's Revenge sounds like it would be the second one, but it's the first one.
It does, yeah.
I think the second one's Return of Cooler or something like that. But right. Yeah, it's the best movie. That or Evolution, of course, are the best movies. But yeah, that's my top 10 Dragon Ball movies and specials, I guess.
Solid.
Solid list. Solid list.
We'll say I'm surprised that you did not have
History of Trunks.
History of Trunks on there.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest shocker for me.
It's a good one. It's like I said, it's very emotional, and I love what Xenoverse did with it, but no, not quite on my top 10, I don't think.
Fair enough. As I have said, I've heard that this one is that superhero is quite good. I think it looks like you get a lot. If you're a Gohan and Piccolo fan, I think Gohan and Piccolo have a lot of action in here. We both like the androids and the Red Ribbon stuff.
And the aged Trunks and Goten, I'm excited. I hope they...
Yeah.
I think I did see Gotenks in the trailer.
I think so.
Which
that'll be exciting.
I will say, though, even though I tried not to analyze it too much, Gotenks didn't look older. He still looked like Gotenks, but I maybe didn't get a good look.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for it. That'll be fun. We can probably talk about it a little bit next week. Maybe next week we could talk about the first episode of She-Hulk, man.
Oh, when does that come out?
I think it comes out on Wednesday.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, we could probably do that.
Plenty to do there. Or no, I meant to do a joke at the beginning, but I forgot where I was gonna say that Bailey wasn't here and he's missing the episode where we do our detailed breakdown of everything everywhere all at once. But I forgot to make that joke. So okay. There it is now at the back end.
Yeah, I miss timings on sound bites all the time, so I'm used to that. It's okay.
Yeah. Happens to the best of us. Well, all right. There's the 10 best Dragon Ball movies. Watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah, if you haven't, you need to do it.
It's OG, and you're not cool if you don't like Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
like, that's
not.
something.
That's not a identity. You can't
That's something that triggers me. Yeah, there's a story that I've probably told before, and as a friend of Tim's was like, I was talking, I knew that they were into anime or whatever, and I said something about Dragon Ball Z, and they're like, oh, that's really mainstream. And I was just like, okay, I don't like you.
Okay, well, let me guess. That guy said that's too mainstream, and then he probably turned around and said, I love Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia. Probably. That's more mainstream than Dragon Ball Z, you asshole.
Yeah. You're not cool for not liking Dragon Ball Z. It's not a personality trait. Yeah, just enjoy it.
If you're a little hesitant, I say... I'd accept it even if you wanted to just watch Dragon Ball Z Kai. That's fine. It's a nice shortened version. It takes out a lot of the filler. Some other stuff looks better. That would be fine too.
Popo is not racist.
He's not racist. He's not problematic. No. Yeah. Got some voice changes in there as well. Yeah. It's all good.
Yes. Well, all right. That will take us to the end. Ginyu Force rules. Ginyu Force forever. Dragon Ball forever.